Hey everybody, got another video here for you. Okay, the bars have been disassembled and sanded. Did it on the belt sander, made quick work of it. And the next step, I'm about to raise the grain on it. I almost forgot as usual, but I didn't. So yeah, raise the grain, and then it's time for clear coat. Okay, the bars are out of the paint shop and reassembled and have been installed on the guitar. They got like 4 or 5 coats of lacquer and sanded flat with 320, and then ran through the grits 600, 1200, 2500, and then polished on the buffer. Clean up with Windex, and then waxed and oiled. And let's see, the screws to put the bars together got painted. And out of all that, the only thing that went wrong was I didn't let the paint on the screws dry completely. I was impatient. I was using Rust-Oleum and didn't wait my 24 hours. And a little bit of wet paint came off the screw and onto the screwdriver, which then touched the bar and got black paint on the lacquer. And I wiped off what I could with the tissue and got out what I could with naphtha, and then had to resort to 600 grit to sand out the rest. But fortunately, I didn't have to sand all the lacquer off, and I was able to run through the grits and then polish and wax, polish and clean up and wax and buff and oil and rub down once again in order to fix that. And then I was able to put the bars together, and that's what you see here. And with that, the build is almost done, but not quite. I forgot to put a bridge ground wire on it, so I'll need to do that still. And need to set the intonation, check the intonation. So bridge ground wire and intonation are next. Oh, it also needs the strap buttons put on the strap bar and put the strap on the buttons. But putting the strap on the buttons is trivial. It's not like you have to mod the strap like you do with strap locks. So, okay, so this thing needs a bridge ground. And taking a look at it, I think probably the best option is going to go from underneath this screw, go down in between the bridge and the pickup, then go kind of under the pickup here to the middle where the hole for the pickup wire is. And if you remember, I measured this pickup with the insulating sleeve on it in order to drill this hole. And it turns out the hole is actually, now that I've cut that insulation off of this thing, the hole is a little smaller than the lead coming off the pickup. So it turns out that there's probably enough room to get a single black conductor wire out of some 4-conductor lead through here as a bridge ground. So I'm thinking, have the bridge ground run from that screw there through this hole and wrap it around this other cable over to here, and then just solder it on to the negative terminal where this guy is also soldered on, which would be the terminal with the green and unshielded wire. And yeah, you'll have to take the jack out in order to solder it. The idea with wrapping it around is that way you won't have like two 2 loose wires running down the back. It'll help keep it all looking neat, hopefully. So, yeah, you're probably going to need, let's see, going from the bridge out to here, maybe a foot's worth of some little piece of wire, like I'm going to take a piece, some of this stuff. This is shielded 4-conductor by K-ish. This is the good stuff that has like the unshielded wire also, and also has the foil. But I'm not going to actually take it out of this. I've got some not so good stuff that has 4 conductors but no shielding or foil. No ungrounded or foil wire. And I'm going to cannibalize that in order to get my 1 foot of small black wire to do this job. Okay, got my roll of cheap 4 conductors cable, and used a razor blade and a lighter and stripped off all the sheathing for a piece of wire. And there's my piece of wire. It's 400 centimeters long, which is 15 3/4 inches, so a little over a foot. And here, you play with the wire. There you go. That gets the kitten out of the way. So I'm thinking, you start by stripping the end of the wire. You want enough that's you'll be able to hook it around this screw here. And then you're going to have to loosen up all 5 of the screws on the bridge so that you can fish that wire under there and hook it, and then tighten it back down. And then probably take out this screw. Hi, little baby. Take out this screw so that you can swing the pickup back so that you can get at that hole and fish the wire through. So I'm going to start by getting my wire stripped. Okay, time to get this bridge wire going. I've been thinking about it, and I think the way to do it is to try to thread it through from the back. You might be able to avoid having to remove the pickup. I don't know, it seems awfully tight. Guess I'm going to have to ream the hole out or something. So much for that idea. Okay, if I take the pickup entirely out of the hole, I have to unsolder it from the jack to get it entirely out of the hole so I can ream out the hole. And I'd prefer to not unsolder it if I don't have to. What I can do is I can remove the jack and get the strings and bridge out of the way, or strings out of the way, so that I can remove the pickup, and then I can pull the pickup up and then maybe get the wire started from the top and then pull them both down through the hole at the same time. And if I can't do that, then I'll have to take the jack, unsolder the jack, pull the lead for the pickup entirely out of the hole and ream it out. Okay, I removed the jack and unscrewed the pickup and pulled the wire out a bit and tried to get the ground wire in there next to it, and it's still kind of tight. So that means disconnect the jack, pull the wire all the way out of the hole, and I'm thinking drill it out from 4 millimeters to 5 millimeters. Okay, I loosened up the strings, took the bridge off, took the bridge block off, and now I have clear access to the hole. And now I need to go fish up a 5 millimeter twist drill bit. Since I'm enlarging the hole, I can't use a brad point, which is what I usually use. So I got to dig through my bag of spilled drill bits and find a 5 millimeter. Okay, found my drill bit. When you do this, you want to drill from both sides so you don't leave a mark. I'm going to drill it and then check and make sure it fits. Yep, they both fit in the hole now, so now I just put it all back together. When I put it back together, I'm going to take this in and put it under that screw at that corner of the bridge. And then take this thing and wind it around this cable and then solder them both up solder this up onto the negative terminal along with the negative leads off of this one. Okay, I've got the pickup back on. I'm going to have to adjust the height again. You want to put the pickup on before the bridge, otherwise the strings will be in the way. Okay, got the bridge back on. I snugged down all the screws and then backed them off about 3 turns so you can lift the bridge up a little bit. And I can always back them off a little bit more if I need to. And took the end of my wire here. It's already coming apart. And bent it into a little like U shape so I can hook it around this screw right here. So right now this bridge is lifted up a little bit. I want to come in like this, and looks like I need to lift the bridge up a little bit more. Okay. Get my wire here. There we go. That's the idea. Get it up under there and hook onto that screw. And then tighten it back down. That's all there is to it. And then pull these guys down. And it should look pretty nice and neat when you're done. Where'd that wire go? Something about like that. And then, of course, finish installing all the bridge screws. Okay, I slid some heat shrink tubing onto these guys in order to hold them together. And the next step is to cut this black one off just a little bit longer than the green and unshielded, and then twist it around the green and unshielded and solder all those together. And then you can take that whole clump and solder them to the negative terminal of the jack. And solder the black wire back up to the hot terminal of the jack. And then put the jack back in. Okay, so here you can see I've got the black wire soldered up with the green and the unshielded now. And now all I have to do is connect all this back to the jack. This goes on the ground terminal, and this black wire from the pickup goes on the hot terminal. And I've got my jack held in a piece of cardboard with a hole poked in it so that it stays in one place, hopefully. Maybe I could tape this down to the guitar. Yeah, you want it to stay in one place while I hook these guys up. Okay, there it is, all soldered up, and I put the jack back into the jack plate. And this is what I ended up with. And I think that's okay the way it is. No need to tack it down, probably. And it looks neat enough. It'd be nicer if I had a single piece of heat shrink instead of 3 short pieces, but that's life. So it's almost done. I need to tune it up again and then adjust the pickup height again. And then I need to check that my intonation is okay. And then it should be done and ready for some sound tests. And you already saw me playing around with pickup heights before, so I'm not going to film that. Okay, time to check the intonation. And what you want to do is you want to tune it up, and then you play the open string. Make sure it's in tune. See, I got green there. Wait a sec. It's a cheap tuner, it's slow. Right, so your string's in tune, and then you play it fretted at the 12th. There's a couple of different ways to do this. This is the way I do it. You play it fretted at the 12th, and I'm spot on, but the rule is that if it's flat at the 12th, then you need to move the saddle towards the nut. And if it's sharp at the 12th, you need to move the saddle away from the nut. And that's all there is to it. So you just go down for each string, and my number 5's in tune. And it's an octave as well, so the intonation on 6 and 5 are both good. So yeah, you just go down the line, and if you need to, you use the little screw back here in order to move the saddle towards the nut or away from the nut. And once it's intonated, oh no, wait, there's one more thing after that. Have to put on the strap and the strap buttons. So, last but not least, the strap buttons. And I've taken the strap bar off the guitar to make this easier. And the holes are already drilled, so it's just a matter of putting the wax on. Got to wax every screw. I know it gets tedious, but it really is the best thing to do. So yeah, just wax the screws and then screw them into the ends, and then put the strap on. Put the bar back on the guitar and put the strap on. Well, either way. And there it is, all done. Intonated, got the bar and the strap buttons going. So now it's time to play test this thing. starting to go out of tune. Strings aren't stretched. I think you get the idea. See you later. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. So, until the next one, everybody, have a good one.